So, some of you have asked, why do I need to decrease my fat to help reverse type 2 diabetes? I'm going to answer that using a mechanism within our body, but I'm going to first start with an analogy. I think it'll be way easier to follow. So you get your groceries delivered to your house. Your family eats the groceries. You're happy. You're able to move around the house and do what you need to. Then the grocery delivery service starts just going faster and faster and faster, and you get more and more food inside your house. What are you going to do? Your pantry's full, then you fill up your fridge, then you fill up your kitchen, then you start storing food and products all over the house. Suddenly you say, look, we don't have enough room in here. We got to build another room, get a little storage shed outside our house, and then create that to store the food. And all of a sudden you have this massive amount of food. You can barely hear each other across the room. You can barely walk because there's, groceries all over the ground. And that's the condition that our bodies turn into when we have type 2 diabetes. And let me show you how to reverse that by decreasing your fat. So first, here, glucose. Super easy. Sugar, right? We ate it. It needs to get into the cell to then create energy. Energy is created by a huge process called the Krebs cycle. But you got to get that sugar all the way down here to actually create energy that the body can use. That's called ATP. Okay? So we need insulin. Get that insulin connected, and the glucose goes down. Glucose changes into fructose, which then changes into glyceraldehyde 6P, has a couple others, then into pyruvate, then into acetyl-CoA, then goes through the Krebs cycle. Now, watch, just bear with me, right? What else can happen? You can get fat and eat fat, and it comes in, and it goes, and it changes into pyruvate or acetyl-CoA. Now, here's the deal. Just like our house gets over-flooded with food, with the delivery service just loading the groceries, when this Krebs cycle gets backed up, what happens? It starts pushing back up, and these individual components then create these other things that are actually very harmful for my body. Let me just run through these real quick and show you how it creates a lot of the diabetes complications that we see when we have type 2 diabetes unreversed for a long time. Here we go. Hexosamine pathway activates PA1 and TGF-beta1. Then you get through right before pyruvate, it creates the protein kinase C activation as well as the AGE pathway. Now, let's focus on this because the protein kinase C activation is one of the biggest and most harmful players. So when you eat fat and you eat sugar and you get so much in the cell it can't even deal with it, it pushes it up and you make these other end products that are not favorable. First of all, these two, what they do is they create more blood vessels. You might think this is a good thing. However, the blood vessels are more permeable, they're friable, and this is one of the causes of diabetic retinopathy. What else? It also creates little blood clots and also more fibrin. So you actually get scar tissue near your kidneys, scar tissue near your heart, scar tissue near your liver, fatty liver disease, cirrhosis. And there are all these downstream negative effects with individuals with uncontrolled type 2 diabetes eating a surplus of glucose and fat. So what do? Is decreasing fat. What do we want? We want 10 to 20% of our calories. What is that? That is about 20 to 30 grams per day, or roughly 10, 15 per meal. But that's how you reverse that type 2 diabetes, is you track things and record things and improve things. The average American has around 75 grams of fat a day. So if you even decrease this to 50, you're making improvement. If this has been helpful, let me know. I'm more than willing to share more about molecular pathways. You gotta stick with analogies, otherwise this stuff, you're just like, these are just a lot of letters and words. Let me know if this helped.